to In the Clutch. My name's Joe.
My name's Joe.
And this is In the Clutch. This is for our January 15th update. We start with our first segment, the NFL Divisional Playoffs. And we're going to give you our picks. The first game is at 4:35 p.m. It's the Rams at the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are favored by 6.
Which is a great game to start. You have the Rams coming off a great upset of the Seattle Seahawks and the Packers, who haven't played in 2 weeks. And it's a matchup of the number one scoring offense versus the number one scoring defense. And I think the highlight here is you got Davante Adams versus Jalen Ramsey. You know, that front, the offensive line versus Aaron Donald. And I got to say, I actually was I'll go back to the draft for the Green Bay Packers, where I thought they really missed on the draft. They didn't get Aaron Rodgers, wide receiver help. And there was a lot of talk about the Packers not being this good if we go back, 17 weeks. I didn't think they were going to be this good. The Rams, this will be the third game they've played in under 60-degree weather. It's supposed to be in the high 20s. The Packers look really, really good. Expect the Packers to win 30-24, right at the 6 points. If I was to say the Rams are going to win, you'd have to tell me Aaron Donald in that front. That front got to Aaron Rodgers all the time and had to held Davante Adams under 100 yards receiving. I just don't see that happening.
Predicting that the Rams are going to score 24 points is insane. I don't care what defense it is. You are absolutely out of your mind if you think the Rams are going to put up 24 points. Okay, 1, it's cold. 2, I don't think that Cam Akers is going to be able to run the ball like he did against the Seahawks. And 3, I don't care what quarterback you put back there. The Packers are not the Seahawks. And unless they can score defensive touchdowns, they're not getting 24 points. So that's one thing there. And obviously, I'm picking the Packers as well. I think the Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams relationship has really, really excelled this year, and for all the right reasons. Davante Adams is an amazing wide receiver, and Aaron Rodgers is an extremely accurate passer. But the fact that he has to rely on Davante Adams makes it really great. Route running, catching ability to gain separation from the secondary is fantastic. And I guarantee you they're going to move Adams around to get him off of Jalen Ramsey for pretty much the entire game. I have the Packers winning 26-17. So that's my
interesting too. I thought about that too. And I wonder if the Rams will let Ramsey follow him. You know what I mean? It's such a big game, or if they're just going to keep him on his side of the field. He has been throwing the ball. I mean, that's just who Aaron Rodgers throws the ball to. I mean, if I was the Rams, I would try to keep Jalen Ramsey on him as much as I could.
The Rams' ideal situation is to prevent Adams from getting the ball. Are they going to be able to get to Rodgers? I don't think so. Rodgers has so many different looks that he gives. Aaron Donald, probably the defensive player of the year, definitely the only unanimous all-pro defensive player this year. He is, without a doubt, a disruptor. But can he get to Rodgers? Can the Rams get to Rodgers? I don't think they do. Rodgers is too slippery. He's too fast. He hardly ever gets sacked.
He's 60 years old. I don't know if he's too slippery.
Dude, he's actually the 5th youngest quarterback in these playoffs. 5th youngest out of 8.
Right? That's actually crazy.
Yeah. What's your bold prediction on this?
I would not be surprised if the Packers just annihilate them. You know what I mean? To bring up his broken thumb, cold weather. I mean, I could also see it being like 44-17.
Right. Yeah. No, my bold prediction is that the Rams could win this based on the things that you said. That Jalen Ramsey shuts down Davante Adams and forces Aaron Rodgers to rely on Tanyan and the Lawford and Lazard and Aaron Jones, who I don't think is going to have a great game on Saturday. So if Jalen Ramsey can shut down Davante Adams and make Rodgers work to his secondary weapons, then I think that's the only way the Rams can win. And that would be, well, it's not a bold prediction, I guess. I'm not predicting that the Rams win, but my bold prediction would be that it could be closer.
See, that was based. I actually think those things are going to happen. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is that slippery for that defensive line. I do think Aaron Donald is unstoppable. I do think Jalen Ramsey will play him enough that it will be close. I just don't see any scenario where the Rams actually win.
Game 2 is Saturday at 8:15 p.m. It's the Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are favored by 2.5.
You know how I feel about Josh Allen? right? I'm
Love, hate. Last week it was all love.
man, I just don't, I don't fully trust him when it comes to really completing and passes when it really matters. Even though he had an almost 70% completion percentage this year, I still watched a lot of games where like some of those passes were just really, really off. And I feel the same way about Lamar Jackson, though. I feel like, he's kind of a one-trick pony. Last year was a great year in the touchdown scenario. This year is, once they kind of know what he does, it's more the same. Bills squeak this out. I think we saw last week that they didn't have the ability to close the game out. They're up 24-10 in the fourth quarter. So I think the Bills are a better overall team. Josh Allen's ability to throw and run, I think, is a little bit better than Lamar Jackson's this year. So I expect them to really squeak that out. If Lamar Jackson runs for another 130 plus yards and their running game is crazy and they can just control the ball like that, that's the only way I could really see the Ravens winning. But gosh, I think there's supposed to be a little bit of snow in Buffalo.
It's going to be cold, that's for sure. Cold enough to snow anyway. Yeah, last week I talked about Josh Allen being had that step on their throats kind of mentality. They didn't do it against Phillip Rivers, and instead, Phillip Rivers was able to bring them back in the game. A lot of it was on Jonathan Taylor. Now, here's the thing, is that I like J.K. Dobbins, and I think that the Ravens had enough weapons on offense to compete with the high-powered Buffalo Bills offense, but it should be a wake-up call to the Bills that they were not able to put away the Colts last week. And by not putting away the Colts last week, I think that the Bills do it this week. I think that the combination of Allen I think Stephon Diggs is the biggest reason why the Bills have improved so much and that Josh Allen has really improved in the passing game. One, Diggs is one of the best route runners in the NFL. He's got great hands. And so Josh Allen has a receiver that he can trust. And then he has an outlet receiver that he trusts as well, in Cole Beasley. So he's got two receivers that he's trusted, is different than the weapons that he's had in the past. And that definitely helps Josh Allen's accuracy, including his completion percentage. Does he still throw wildly occasionally? Yeah, the dude's got a monster arm. Like, we saw it on display. He flicks his wrist, and I would say it's pretty close to as strong as Patrick Mahomes' arm. I'm like, he flicks his wrist and he goes 50 yards down the field. I'm like, what the hell was that? I think that the Bills, my bold prediction is that the Bills annihilate the Ravens, that they beat them 34-17.
I do go back to that preseason first-round pick for Stephon Diggs. Obviously now we can say that was a very, very good trade for the Buffalo.
Absolutely.
Josh Allen really needed that number one receiver.
Sunday, 3:05, Cleveland Browns at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 10.
Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, the greatest receiving core for someone to walk in the league ever. The funny thing about the Chiefs, though, they haven't actually been that dominant for a while now. You have to go back 9 weeks for the last time the Kansas City Chiefs won by more than 6 points. The Cleveland Browns are the Cleveland Browns, right? They won the last week of the season with a bunch of their players being on COVID. I didn't think
against a third-string Steelers.
Yep, didn't think they were going to win that. Baker Mayfield he went from 21 interceptions 2 years ago to 8 interceptions this year. Maybe he's the corner. They get their 2 starting cornerbacks back, which is huge for them. I do think that the Chiefs win, and I actually think if I was a betting man, I'd take that 10 points for the Cleveland Browns, though. And I would say 27-24 Chiefs. I think there's a cool story here. Kareem Hunt comes back to Kansas City. I think if the Cleveland Browns were to win this game, both of their running backs would have to have unbelievable games with a nice story against his old team. 27-24 Chiefs.
I think the Browns keep it close with their running game. I think Kareem Hunt and Chubb, they are two fantastic running backs to have in this environment. And the Chiefs have played incredibly close games against lesser opponents. And I think the Browns showed something last week. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think, as I said last week, Ben Roethlisberger is a joke of a quarterback at this point. I think that, but I still think that the Browns keep it close. And here's my bold prediction. Now, I am predicting the Chiefs to win. I think you should take the Browns and the points, but I'm predicting the Chiefs to win 31-22. But my bold prediction is that if the game is within one score, The Browns win. Guaranteed. Stone cold lead pipe lock. The Browns win.
Hell would have to freeze over for the Browns to win this game. Any scenario, I don't see the Browns winning.
If they control the clock, if Baker Mayfield limits his mistakes, and the secondary steps up again like they did against Pittsburgh, yeah, it's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of ifs, but if they're within one score, they win. 6:40 on Sunday, we have the Tampa Bay Bucks at the New Orleans Saints. Saints are favored by 3.
These guys actually played twice this year already. The Saints have won both games. They won the last one in Tampa Bay, 38-3. And I said last week on our first one that I think the Saints are the most complete team in the NFL. And I'm not going to shy away from that statement anymore. I think the Saints win 38-24. I think they win pretty easily. Tampa Bay has the number 1 rush defense in the league. Don't think that's a problem for Alvin Kamara. Whether it's passing out of the backfield or, running the ball himself and getting a couple 1-2 yard touchdowns, I think the Saints move the ball pretty easily. I think they get to Tom Brady.
I hate Tom Brady. Respect him, but I hate him. And I hate that he's referred to as the GOAT because he won Super Bowls. I hate that. And I know you and I have had arguments back and forth about who the GOAT is. And we are both different on this. We are both different as far as who the GOAT is. But when it comes to quarterbacks, this is what we're going to see. I think that in this game, one, nobody's legacy is going to be tarnished no matter what the result is. Even if the Saints win 40-3 or vice versa, the Buccaneers win 40-3, nobody's legacy is going to be tarnished. What we're going to get, though, is an old-fashioned Donnybrook of a football game. I want to see Tom Brady's ass hit the grass multiple times. But I also want to see Drew Brees get hit hard. And the reason why I want both those things to happen is because they're old. And I want them to prove to old people out there that all you have to do is just get back up. That's what I want. So this should be a good game. I think this should be a great game. I actually have the Saints winning 27-23. I think it's going to be close. I don't think either team can get the run game going. And I think Kamara out of the backfield on releases, I think that is the difference. My bold prediction on this one, though, is that for Tampa Bay to win this game, Tom Brady has to stay upright. And if he stays upright, then I think Tampa Bay has a chance. But if the pass rush and the blitzing that New Orleans does can get to Tom Brady, then I think the Buccaneers will have a long day.
Drew Brees gets the ball out of his hand so fast. He hardly ever throws the ball down the field, and they just move the ball, And Kamara is a big aspect of that. He's so hard to guard. And the Tampa Bay is going to have to really focus on him for me to feel like Tampa Bay is going to win.
I still think the Saints win. I think it's closer than you think it is. We'll see how it comes out. But anyway, we picked the same 4 winners, which is kind of boring, but hopefully we have compelling arguments to make it interesting for everybody else. NBA. Let's switch segments to the NBA. Big trade. Huge trade. I don't even know if it's done yet. Like every day, there seems to be a new player moving because of this trade.
Yeah. It was a trade that needed to happen. James Harden came out in probably the most disrespectful fashion I've seen for any teammate to just be like, this team isn't good enough. They can't get it done. Nothing's fixable. We can't go anywhere. Like when somebody says that, they got to go. Yeah. It needed to happen. Him going to the Nets is, in my eyes, kind of puzzling. You already have 2 really ball controlling guys in Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and then you're going to add in probably the most ball controlling player in the NBA. James Harden is the best one-on-one offensive player in the NBA, hands down. And you're going to add him to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
Hold on a second. I'm getting a call. Hello? Oh, hi, LeBron. Oh, I know. Joe said that James Harden is the best one-on-one basketball player. Oh, hold on. I got another call. Hold on, sorry. Stefan. So good to hear from you, man. How did you hear about this? That's what Joe said. James Harden is the number one-on-one offensive player in the league. Yeah. No. I don't know. It's just the way it is. Oh, I got another call coming. Hold on. What? Look, Luka. I mean, the problem is you're too young. Yeah, I mean, Joe's an old guy. He prefers his old school talent, and James Harden's got a beard, and you don't. You got to think about that. Okay? All right. Sorry, Luka. Like, I don't know. Joe, that's what Joe said. Yeah. Hold on. I got one more go. Oh, hi, Mom. I got to take this.
4 years in a row of over 30 points a game. Has the step back jumper. Everybody knows what's coming. It's the most unstoppable move in the NBA. He is no pick and roll. Just line him up. The best one-on-one player in the NBA. He has been for a couple of years.
He's also the most selfish player in the NBA. What do you think becomes of the Nets?
So that's what my point is. I'm not really sure how it works. They also, in that trade, got rid of Jared Allen. So I'm also, who's going to play defense on the Nets?
Who's going to play center?
Well, they're going to be asking a lot of DeAndre Jordan. But, I mean, Jared Allen was, probably one of the best big men in the league, their best defensive player. Who's playing defense over there now? You got a lot of people that can score. Who's really going to play defense when you start playing these top teams? So I'm not really sure how that's going to work. And to be honest, I liked the flip of getting Victor Oladipo back over in Houston. I think Oladipo with John Wall and Boogie Cousins is a great makeup.
And Christian Wood, who's come out of nowhere to be amazing.
But I feel like, that actually is a good little mesh there. So, and they got the out of Houston. And then Kyrie Irving anyways, is that guy coming? What's going on with Kyrie Irving? You know what I mean?
Well, this is my thought. So I think this actually makes the Nets worse. Yeah, they're going to score a ton of points, but it makes them worse because of chemistry. I'm a big proponent of chemistry in team sports. And when you throw in KD, who's not toxic, who's awesome, I love KD, but you throw in KD with two toxic beasts in James Harden and Kyrie Irving, you are in for a whole heck of a lot of hate and a whole heck of a lot of pain. So the second a game goes sideways, I can't see them coming back. They're not a comeback team. They have an immense amount of talent, but I bet you that they are going to stay mediocre. They're 7-6 right now. Mark my words. By the time the season is over, they don't get over 40 wins in a 72-game season. Guaranteed.
Yeah, 40 wins. Katie, I'm sorry, that's what he said. He said 40 wins. That's the max. Wait, that's three-way it. Yeah. Hey, yeah. I got Katie on the line too, Harden. I don't know. I know you guys used to play together in OKC. You guys won 60 games all the time. He doesn't think you guys can win more than 40. All right. I know. I'll tell him I got to go. So, yeah, Kevin Durant used to play with this exact team. He played.
That was Kyrie.
Yeah, but he had Russell Westbrook, which is like a Kyrie in the ball control, right? The Nets are still going to win plenty of freaking games.
But they couldn't win with Kyrie and KD. They couldn't win with them.
I think they'll go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Just that. Yeah. I'm not sure they will be able to get over the best teams. I hope they don't. I really don't want it to work. I really don't. I think, these just putting all these guys together, I really hope it doesn't work. But that amount of offensive talent will get them 50 wins.
I still think that they are, because of their toxicity and lack of depth now, I think that they are still a step behind Boston and Milwaukee. I think those two are still the two teams to beat in the Eastern Conference, and I can't see Brooklyn getting past either of them.
I want to talk about legacy. This weekend, we have the Packers and the Saints playing two big games. And with the way the NFL rules are nowadays, it's such a quarterback league. And I think Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees are both coming to the end of their line. They've both only been to one Super Bowl, won one Super Bowl, but that's not enough anymore. It's just not enough to get to one with it being a quarterback league. I think it's a really big week for Drew Brees getting to face Tom Brady.
2021. And I know we've got a lot going on with the pandemic and with the election stuff and with with the Capitol being stormed and all these crazy things that are going on in our world. It doesn't mean that we should stop being decent humans. And so in 2021, with Justin Thomas and his homophobic slur, like, you have to know that there are cameras and mics, hot mics on you all times when you're playing a tournament. And even if you're using that homophobic slur towards a golf ball. That's it. That is In the Clutch with Joe. I'm Joe.
I'm Joe.
We'll see you next week when we break down the conference championships in football and whatever else comes up next week. All right, that's it. That's the wrap.
It's a wrap.